Hello and welcome to Queen of Spades Garden Care. I'm Anna and this is where I share tips and tricks on what to do in the garden. Right now I'm on my daily walk with my lovely dog along the side of the River Avon after having done quite a lot of weeding today, so my legs needed a stretch out. Anyway, today we're looking at climbing roses and how to prune them. Enjoy!
The first thing to do is to make a cuppa to keep motivated and warm, especially as the weather is turning colder. Climbing roses produce their flowers on new growth, so essentially you can prune them back as hard as you want to. This sort of renovation can be carried out any time between late autumn and winter. Now with this rose I was tasked with tidying, it was key to treat it drastically as it is a rambler. Rambling roses are very vigorous growers, needing strong support for the massive greenery they produce. This sort of rose needs a good hard prune in order to keep it looking good and produce as many flowers as possible. I took my secateurs right to the backbone of the rose, making sure to cut to buds where next year's growth will come from, and trying to make sure they point in the direction you want the growth to lead. Getting to this point may seem harsh, but it's always good to have the skeleton structure of the rose in mind, as having a good base structure will help the rose grow as you want it to. And the saving grace with ramblers and other climbing roses is that they grow very well, so if you make too drastic a cut, you can be comforted in the knowledge that it should recover and grow back. Once I had taken a lot of the new growth off and could see the backbone, I cut out all dead, diseased or dying shoots. Then, I cut off 1 in 3 branches right at the base, choosing the oldest ones where possible. Apart from achieving a less congested structure, removing the older stems helps rejuvenate the plant and reduces its chance of contracting diseases. The next step of this process is to reduce any crossing over of branches, whether that's where they rub against wires or walls, or against one another. This is because friction can cause wounds in the plant where infection could occur. Besides, too many branches crossing one another can lead to tangled growth, blocking flowers from view. Also, poor air circulation can lead to rose powdery mildew, so an open structure is important. So, with these aims in mind, I got to work on the rest of it. Remember, this requires a lot of thought, so take your time. It can actually be quite a therapeutic process as long as you stay warm. The next rose I took care of was a climber called Shropshire Lad. It doesn't grow as vigorously as the rambler, and as it was younger, it didn't need to be pruned back so harshly. First, I deadheaded to keep the plant's energy focused on growth and removed 1 in 3 of the older stems. Then I fixed the trellis to the fence to keep it secure, especially as winter is coming and stronger winds are likely. Once that was done, I could pick out the main younger stems I wanted to keep and arrange them in a slight fan up the frame. After that, I continued with removing crossing branches for the same reasons as before. There was one cluster of buds at the top that I left to flower. Usually this pruning is done once the flowering season is over, but sometimes jobs just have to be done when they can. A lot of the footage I took while pruning is of me standing around thinking. It really is important to take time over it. Anyway, this is how the climbing rose turned out.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe and all that jazz. And I'll see you in the next one, after having cleaned my very muddy dog. Take care.